In our last video, we described motion in terms of distance and displacement. If you haven't watched the video, you can check my channel. We can describe motion of the object by describing how fast is it moving from initial to final position. How do we know that one object is moving faster than the other? How fast is it traveling? Is it slowing down or speeding up? Is it moving steadily? Is the direction of the moving object changing or steady? In this video, we will talk about speed and velocity. Let's have a short intro first. Speed refers to how far an object moves in a given time interval, from its initial to final position without considering its direction. Since there is no direction involved, meaning speed is an example of scalar quantity. Let's compare two moving objects. Which of the two cars reached their destination faster? Now we observe that a fast-moving object has a high speed and covers a relatively large distance in a short amount of time, while a slow-moving object has a low speed and covers a small amount of distance in the same amount of time. In our example, we observe that car A reaches its destination because it is moving at a high speed, while the other car only half of the entire distance it covers because it has low speed having the same time. Take note, speed can be in a form of average or either instantaneous. When we say average speed, it refers to the entire distance covered by the object divided by the time of travel, while instantaneous speed is the speed of an object at any instant, either specific time or distance. We can calculate the speed of an object by having the distance traveled divided by the time it took to cover that distance, or speed is equal to distance over time. Or you can denote it as S is equal to d over t, by which small letter s refers to as speed, while small letter d refers to as distance, and small letter t refers to as time. The following are the units for speed. Can be miles per hour, kilometer per hour, and meter per second. Meter per second is the international standard unit for speed. So now let's try to solve problem related to speed. Ezra wants to watch the basketball game of his brother Rich. He traveled from his house 200 meters to east and reached his destination for 40 seconds. What would be the average speed of Ezra? To solve this problem, let's have first the following given. Distance is equal to 200 meters. Since it is distance, we will just neglect its direction. And time is equal to 40 seconds. Our main task is to solve for the average speed of Ezra. So to solve for it, the formula for speed is equal to distance divided by time. Speed is equal to the value of distance, which is 200 meters, divided by the time, which is 40 seconds. Our speed is equal to 5 meters per second. The average speed of Ezra is equal to 5 meters per second. It means that Ezra can travel 5 meters in every second. Why average speed? It is average speed because it represents the speed of the object throughout its travel. Because there is an instance that during his travel, his speed is changed or would vary. Its speed at instant is called as instantaneous speed. It refers to the speed of the object at a particular time or instant. Let's see for example, what is the instantaneous speed of Ezra at 20 seconds? Yes, based on the illustration, we can state that it is equal to 3.5 meter per second. Take note that instantaneous speed can be equal, less than, or greater than the value of its average speed. Now, take a look at the path of travel by Ezra in this illustration. Can you observe? Yes, its instantaneous speed throughout the trip is the same. When its instantaneous speed throughout the travel is the same, we can state that the object is moving at a constant speed. Constant speed refers to the constant motion of the object. Are you familiar with the speedometer? It is a device that can be seen in our vehicle that measures instantaneous speed. Speedometer is very important for us to know if the vehicle is traveling along with safety rules and precautions considering its speed limit. Describing the motion of an object, we will not just observe how fast the object is moving. We will also consider its direction. Speed with direction is referred to as velocity. It gives us the idea on how fast an object moves in a certain direction. It is a vector quantity. Refers to the rate of change in displacement rather than distance traveled by the object over its time. Or velocity is equal to displacement divided by time. Or can be denoted in the terms v is equal to d over t, by which small letter v is for the velocity, and capital letter D is for displacement, and small letter t is for time. Take note that velocity and displacement has arrows in top to indicate that they are vector quantities that signifies direction. Let's try to calculate velocity. In our problem before about speed, what if Ezra changes his position from 30 meters to east? He travels 80 meters going to east to buy stuff for his brother Ritz during a time interval of 15 seconds. Solve for Ezra's velocity. Let's start by writing the given in our problem. The given are the following. Initial position of Ezra is equal to 30 meters to east. Final position 80 meters going to east. Time of travel is 15 seconds. Next, what is asked in the problem? So we are going to solve for the velocity, which is equal to displacement over time. Let's get first the value of our displacement, which is equal to final position minus initial position, which is displacement is equal to 80 meters going to S minus 30 meters going to S, which is our displacement is equal to 50 meters going to S. So now, having the formula for our velocity, which is V is equal to capital letter D over T, which is 50 meters going to S divided by 15 seconds, which is equal to 3.33 meter per second going to S. So therefore, the velocity of Ezra is 3.33 meter per second going to S, meaning Ezra can travel 3.33 meters in every second. The velocity of an object can change in an instant. We call it as instantaneous velocity. If the velocity of the object is the same throughout the travel, it's called as constant velocity. Before we end this video, I have something for you to answer that sums up all the things you learned in this video. Rich traveled from church 40 meters to east, 50 meters to south, and another 40 meters to reach his house for a total time of travel which is 16 seconds. Solve for his average speed, instantaneous speed from point B to C, its average velocity, and instantaneous velocity from point C to D. You can comment your answer below and see the answer in our upcoming video, which is about acceleration. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from this video. God bless everyone.